This is a video review of the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Brunt. So, I know I've said it a few times already, but Hasbro is really killing it with these Siege figures. Now, I've always thought this guy will be my favorite of the wave, but now that I have this guy in hand, I don't know now. He's really good. In any case, I think just because we've never had a reflector figure from Hasbro aside from the original one, I don't count the SDCC exclusive, I still think he's gonna be my favorite, but this guy is really awesome. You should get him. So enough about that, let's go through the review. Let's take a look at the box, accessories, and let's take a look at the figure. Now, starting with the box, it's the standard Siege box. Brunt is WFCS37. Side here has a really nice artwork of Brunt. The other side is the same as the other Siege figures. Top and bottom will be the same. At the back shows you that it shows you a figure of Brunt in robot and vehicle mode, one of the configurations, as well as the individual weapon components. He also comes with this really nice set of instructions. If you ask me, they should just continue making the instructions this way because it's very clear. You'll know right away where everything goes. It also describes each of the weapon components as well as their configurations. Of course, you're free to come up with your configurations, but those are the standard Hasbro ones. In terms of the figure itself, this is Brunt in his robot mode, and so you can see, let me go my camera just so you can actually see. There you go. He's a really nice robot. Now, if you didn't know, the original G1 Triptychon did come with the purple tank. I don't recall if they actually named it Brunt, but I do know that that tank didn't really have a robot mode per se, but I guess that fact was beneficial to Hasbro because they are now free to design the robot the way they wanted, and I think it turned out really well. Now let's go look at the robot in detail. As you can see, he does have that very plain head sculpt, which is nice. I wish the red stripe went all around. I don't know why, but yeah. Nice silver paint for the mouth. Nice Decepticon symbol done in silver. Nice paint apps all around, even going to the legs. There is no battle damage there. And I forgot in my review, there's no battle damage on this guy as well. But I guess he's a camera, so he doesn't really get into any dirt while in vehicle mode. So yeah, he does have a tiny amount of battle damage right there on the tip of the fists, and the tip of the fists will form the front of the tank later on. From the side, it looks very clean. Can't complain much. From the back, also looks very clean. He does have this turret emplacement as a backpack, which I don't mind. It's nice. The other thing that surprised me about Brunt is there's very little hollowness. You can see maybe there's a little bit there. Not even there. Very little hollowness, as opposed to say this guy. Look at that. His back is barely there. And look at all those hollow pieces, hollow areas on the forearm. This guy was a little bit better. Well, only hollowness I can actually see is in the underside of the feet. But this guy, he's really solid and really nice. So, and going through the articulation, his head is on a swivel. You saw me turn it. His arm is also on a swivel. It's actually a peg, so it can go all the way around. The arm can go that much out. There is a swivel in the upper arm, elbow joint at 90 degrees, and then that thumb part of the hook of the claw does go in. There is a waist swivel that is also on a peg. You can actually arch his back a little bit. You can also arch the head a little bit. The leg does go all the way out, all the way to the front, all the way to the back. There is a swivel there. There is also a swivel there, just because it's also unpeggable. A little bit more than 90 degrees, and this is going to go to 90 degrees, so not bad. And like I said, very expressive for a small figure. And he is deceptively small. I mean, he looks big and all, but on the average, let's just go through some quick size comparisons. In terms of size, he does look big and bulky, but if you put him side by side with, like, Siege Sideswipe here and Dreadwind, he's about average. He's about average deluxe size. I mean, I wish he was Voyager scale just because of, you know, how he looks, but what can you do? Here he is as well with Refractor, but Refractor is a smaller deluxe. But to think of it, they look like they're almost same height. Yeah. But look at the head. Look at the head. The disparity in size. That makes me think this was intended to be a bit bigger. And of course, here he is with dropped Cog's gun. Cog and 6 gun. As you can see, he does, while he looks stand 6 gun stand, while he looks bigger, when you put him side by side with the other weaponizers, as you can see, he's smaller than the two of them. Now, going through transformation, he is a parts former, so just take him apart will be the first step. You take off that backpack and take off this gun. I'll show you the individual names of the guns later on. Now what you do is the head you push back. Face him forward, face him back, doesn't really matter. Fold it up, the head will always be visible. This you turn around, and then you peg these to the back, or you can leave them facing back, doesn't really matter as well. Now let's take this again and then peg it there. 2 holes, 2 pegs, and this crotch piece will rest comfortably on that, so just peg that in, peg that other thing in. There you go. Now for the hands are normally oriented this way with those sort of headlights pointing that way. So what you do is you spread his arms out, fold the claw in, and then push it in. This is a pain to take out later on, and I'll show you. Do the same for this one. Good. And then just use that hole, peg that thing there. Do the same for the other one. There you go. Good. And that forms the front of the tank. There's the battle damage there, appropriately placed at the front. Now this part is really cool. See these 2 feet? Take this peg and pull it out. See, circle and flat, so align them as such. This makes for a really convincing gun, right? Now what you do is you can either use those 2 pegs or those 2 pegs. And if you're posting something on top of the gun, then have that on top, but like that. But for me, I just post like this because I'm not going to use that peg, and that peg actually helps him rest flat on the tank as well. So what you do is see those 2 holes there. There's 2 pegs on either side, and just squeeze that in. Go. Orient them properly again. Now this gun, take it apart, press this at the end, and this one, press it, put it there. There you go. There is Brunt in his Metal Slug-esque tank mode. I think that's really cool. Now looking closely at the tank, as you can see, all the painted details are still coming across really well. The head is there. Can't hide it. I mean, I don't know. Can't really hide in this is not really a valid earth mode, so I guess doesn't really matter. That gives me I don't know, a Megatron vibe. And also this reminds me a lot of Tankor, Beast Machines Tankor. Okay. Now the turret does point up, which is cool. It also rotates, which is cool as well. And they do have wheels there, and there. So they does roll, albeit not as well as the cars. But yeah, let's go through some comparisons. Now here he is with Siege Sideswipe and Heart of Prime's Dreadwind. So proper deluxe scale. Here he is with the other 2 weaponizers. Here he is with Cog, and here he is with 6 gun. So not a bad size. Now since he is a weaponizer, let me show you each of the individual weapons. So take it apart first, starting with this one. This is called the Oblivion Launcher. So it does make for a really convincing gun, right? And you wouldn't think it's 2 legs stuck together. Okay. Let's continue breaking this guy apart, just because. So this thing is called the micro electro amplifier. Now when you plug it to this thing, they're called Agonizer Blaster. Looks like a mini Galvatron gun. Now if you plug this to this part, there is a peg for him to hold. If you plug it there, it's now called a vortex cannon. Pretty good. Now this is called the turret armor. Okay. And what else? This is called the proximity boost module, whatever that is. You know. And these are called hydraulic molar claws, which is appropriate because you can go maul, claw. Yeah. Now let's look at some configurations. Now, I think it's best to use this guy for the configurations, although that hole tends to be a bit loose. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's start with the demolition loadout. So the demolition loadout goes like this. You use the foot claws, position the, be careful, this thing tends to pop out. Okay, position like that, plug that at the bottom of the feet. See the other claw there. Again, be careful. This thing tends to pop out and then it's very hard to put back in. Plug at the bottom of the feet. There you go. Start with that. Seems like all of the weaponizers, at least one part of them turns to boots. Okay, you take this, position it like that. Oh, position it like that, sorry. Go. And then position one of them up and then plug it at the back. Again, refractor's back tends to be a bit loose. Hopefully we get some luck today. Refractor. Why is he leaning back? Lean him a bit forward. Okay, and then you plug this on the shoulder. There you go. And then plug this on the forearm. And plug this on to the shield. Such. And that is refractor with Brunt in demolition loadout. Now let me just adjust my camera. Now just for fun, here is refractor, here are the other two refractors similarly kitted with weaponizer parts. Let's just move them back a bit. And raise the camera in frame. There you go. Okay. Now let's get him into the other mode. This mode is called the Serpentine Loadout. And how it works is, let's just remove everything. Okay. First thing you do is you take out this gun. Yep. You combine this with this, as you would in robot mode. There you go. And pick that on the back. Okay. We'll get a bit back heavy. Using the feet, what you do is, see those pegs? Just peg them on the top, like so. Okay, same here. There you go. And now the claws, put them in tank mode configuration and just plug it there. Clearance, there you go. Again, tank mode configuration, make sure there is clearance and then plug it there. There you go. And then this will go back to the forearm as a shield. It's pretty useless anyway. And then spread that out a little bit. And this thing he will hold as a gun. That is a little bit cooler. That is Brunt in this reflector with Brunt and Serpentine loadout. And again, here he is with the other refractors, similarly kitted out with 6 gun and cog. This guy's having a hard time. Just because of how heavy 6 gun is. Now, I guess he will be flying most of the time, so might not look good standing up here. Really good. And here are the 3 weaponizers again in dynamic poses, and they all look really good. Now, if you ask me to rank them, I'd rank Brunt first, 6 gun second, cog will be a very far off 3rd place. Not to take anything against cog, but 6 gun is just much better than him, and Brunt just is a lot better than these 2. If only he was a bit bigger. I mean, that's my only complaint. Now, should you get Brunt if you had Trypticon? Yes, you need him to complement Trypticon. If you don't, I'd say he's gonna be 3rd in priority or 4th in priority. You need to get this guy first, then Hound, then Red Alert. Yeah, before Brunt, but you need to get him. In terms of availability, I've heard a lot of people talk about troop building this guy, just because he does look for make for a good troop builder. But otherwise, I mean, he should be readily available. I'd say he'd be the last one in the wave to go, or maybe Red Alert, I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, this has been Grim Trigger. This has been the weaponizers, and if you like that review, please do leave a like, leave a comment, do subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.